Have you ever just wanted to live the life of an NPC in GTA Online? Well, in today's video, we're going to be going over how you can do that and much, much more. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Like the title says, there is one feature in GTA Online that I swear no one ever uses. And it is so awesome. It is so much fun. It is so helpful. But like a lot of cool things in GTA Online, it's sort of tucked away. Rockstar never really mentioned it a whole bunch when it came out initially. So I actually think a lot of people don't even know about it. And what this feature does, it gives you infinite off the radar. As we all know, one of the biggest complaints or one of the biggest issues with GTA Online is you're always on the map. Like no matter where you are, what you're doing, your freaking blip is always there. Well, with this feature, you can remove that. You can go about your day in peace. And that is the best part. Now, we all know of Amani, the hacker from the Franklin the Contract DLC. She can put some really cool stuff on certain vehicles, but there's one thing she can do that no one else can. If you call her up, she can make you out of sight. This is the ability, this is the feature that no one ever uses, because I think no one ever calls Amani, because the only other thing you can do from her is source a motorcycle, which isn't that useful. But this out of sight, it does cost $12,000, which maybe is a lot, but it's not really. You can literally go rob a couple of gas stations, go to a street dealer, go to a stash house, any of these things, and it'll replenish that money. But if you choose this out of sight feature, it will put a 500-meter radius where you're infinitely off the radar. It does explain how it works at the top left a little bit. It is only a 500-meter radius. If you hit start or just look on the mini map, you can see the radius. It's not the biggest, but it's pretty big. Like for what it is, I mean, it pretty much covers most of the main city part. If you're doing stuff down there, we'll get into some more specific use cases for it here in a second, but it's not going to, of course, cover the whole map, but it is still very useful. The only way you lose this infinite off the radar is if you do damage to other players. So as long as you're not PvPing, then you're good to go. You can kill cops, you can kill NPCs, go about your missions in this area, all off the radar. And that's what you can see in this clip. I mean, it probably is especially funny in a lobby like this where there's a bunch of griefers and a bunch of PvPers. You do this out of sight mechanic, and then you basically pretend you're an NPC just running around the area. And you just get a whole different perspective on what exactly is happening. At the end of this clip, this guy dresses up like a fireman, hops on the back of a fire truck. The other people have no idea. And of course, this could lead to some very, very funny moments. So that's one of the beauties of this ability. You can also cheese this. I know we mentioned you can't do damage to other players, but you can do damage to their vehicles and you can still remain off the radar. So if there's people that are jet griefing, this is especially useful to sort of set up a no-fly zone. Maybe just set it up down in the city or on like the Maze Bank, although maybe that's a little bit too obvious. But you set it up, and then if there's people griefing in your lobbies that are in helicopters or jets, just simply shoot at their vehicles. As long as you don't hit the player, you will remain off the radar. So that's a way to cheese this by setting up sort of no-fly zones. I don't show it, but you can also, while off the radar here, call in other features that mess with other players, like the muggers. You can call mercenaries. You can put bounties on people. So you can still do normal stuff while remaining off the radar. If you want to go a step further with the no-fly zone, you could do this and then bust out your Chernobog. Although if you do blow up someone, then the off-the-radar will disappear. So maybe just shooting the vehicles is the best route. You can also, like the guy in this picture did, if you have all your businesses in a central area, plop this off the radar in the middle of them so they're all covered and you can go about your business in secret. Now, this doesn't work for sell missions, but if you just want to go through the different businesses, check them, make sure they're all running properly, this is another really, really huge benefit. Again, if all of your businesses are in one area. And if you guys find any really cool spots for this radius, then let us know. I mean, like this guy, you can see he has all of his businesses sort of north of the city, and he plopped his down in the middle, so that's a good location. But if there's any other really cool locations, I know maybe up in the north by the mine, the abandoned mine, you can probably plop it down there, dress up as something crazy, and maybe message people to come find you, and you can scare them. So that could be pretty fun. I do think maybe just down in the city is the best place to plop this down. Maybe when you do start up with a lobby, just so you have that always for you. Now, I mentioned this doesn't work for cell missions, so that is maybe the downside. You can't use this to do cell missions, but it wouldn't really matter too much anyway because cell missions are usually across the entire map. You're still going to have to do the ghost org from the CEO if you want to completely appear off the radar. So this could be good in combination with that ghost org mechanic. As far as other little smaller details, so if you get killed by NPCs or even other players, you will still remain off the radar. So your radius will still be there. It literally only goes away if you yourself do damage to another player, and it could be with a stun gun and it'll go away. So as long as you just hit another player, it'll go away. But you can switch through MC or CEO. You can get the cops on you, get killed by the cops, and all of that will still have this radius. So it is very, very beneficial to just plop down in a central location when you start. Again, it's only 12K, that's nothing. And if you do want to get petty with it, you can use this to kind of, maybe not grief, but kill and attack other players that were maybe messing with you. You can see in this little clip, the guy had no idea. He just hopped over the fence, tased him, and then started beating him up. And the guy just had no idea because he can't see him on the radar. Also, someone took a picture. Apparently, they plopped there out of sight and they went blended in with the NPCs in the background there. And then they would wait for someone to show up at a gun van and illegally detain them. So you can do fun stuff like that. But of course, it is a one-time thing if you do something like that, just because the radius will disappear. And as far as the cooldown, there is a slight cooldown on it. You can't spam this, unfortunately. It is 10 minutes long. So if you do decide to go after someone, then you're gonna have to wait 10 minutes to call this out of sight feature again. And you can't cheese it. You can't find a new session or anything. You're just gonna have to wait the 10 minutes. So it's not really the best for actual PvP use. Maybe that's more of the CEO ghost ability or just the lesser off the radar ability, even though those are limited. This one is mainly this infinite off the radar out of sight ability from Amani is definitely mainly for just driving, exploring the city, doing business stuff, doing PvE stuff, not really for PvP use. So that's it. The out of sight feature from Amani, I think, is quite a game changer that just gets overlooked so often. You can do so many cool and fun things with this ability. So go ahead, give it a try, and let us know in the comments how it works for you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more awesome GTA Online content. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay updated with the latest videos I put out. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.